Everything at Heartland feels calm on the surface, but something dark is moving underneath. Before anyone wakes up, before the sun even touches the barn roof, Nathan is already one step ahead. Today, he takes his first quiet move toward a plan that could change Heartland forever. No one knows it's happening. The day begins with a strange kind of silence, one that doesn't feel peaceful, but heavy, like the air is holding its breath. The sky is still gray, waiting for the first hint of sunrise. Heartland should feel safe at this hour, but something isn't right. The horses shift in their stalls, restless, as if they sense something they cannot explain. Amy steps out of the house, rubbing the sleep from her eyes. She can't say why, but a feeling presses on her chest, as if the ranch itself is trying to warn her. Normally, this early morning is her favorite part of the day: soft light, quiet breeze, the promise of new beginnings. But today feels different. She pauses on the porch, scanning the yard, searching for the source of that uneasy pull inside her. A soft thud breaks the silence. It's small, barely noticeable, but Amy hears it clearly. She walks toward the barn, her boots crunching lightly on the cold dirt. As she pushes the door open, the horses turn their heads at once, their ears pointed, their breaths uneven. Spartan snorts, stamping the ground. Amy frowns. He never acts like this, unless something has disturbed him. She checks the latches, the feed bins, the tools. Everything looks normal, but the barn feels touched by someone who shouldn't have been there. Amy steps deeper inside, running her hand along the stalls, trying to calm the animals. The horses get quiet for a moment, but the tension does not fully leave the air. Then she notices that one of the tack hooks on the wall is turned slightly, not the way she usually leaves it. A small thing, something no one else would care about. But Amy knows her own routines better than anyone. She freezes. Someone was here. Recently, her thoughts race. She tries to tell herself it could have been a family member, maybe someone waking up earlier than usual. But her gut says no. This is different. This is deliberate. Someone entered the barn gently, silently, without making a mess. Someone who didn't want to be caught. Amy steps back outside and breathes in the cold morning air. The ranch looks the same as always, but she knows better. Something unseen has already started. She can feel the first ripple of it spreading across Heartland. She doesn't know it yet. But Nathan made his move long before sunrise. And today, he's closer to his goal than anyone realizes. Nathan isn't at Heartland this morning, not yet. Long before Amy stepped outside, long before the horses grew uneasy, he was already miles away on a quiet dirt road that cuts through the hills. The sky is still dark, the moon just a thin silver slice hanging over the fields. Nathan stands beside his truck with the engine off, his breath mixing with the cool air. He looks calm, almost peaceful, but that calm hides something much deeper, something sharp, calculated, and dangerous. A second vehicle pulls up, its headlights dimmed as if the driver doesn't want their arrival noticed. The tires crunch softly on the gravel before the car stops a few feet away. Nathan doesn't move at first. He waits, watching the other door open slowly. A figure steps out, not fully visible, hidden under a dark coat and a wide hat that shadows their face. They walk toward Nathan with careful steps, like every sound matters. "You're early," Nathan says quietly. His voice carries no warmth, only purpose. The figure gives a small laugh, low and rough. "I could say the same about you." Nathan glances around, making sure no one is watching, not that anyone ever comes this way at this hour. Still, caution is part of his nature. He opens the back door of his truck and pulls out a folder thick with documents, maps, and diagrams. The figure holds out a hand, and Nathan places the folder into it without hesitation. "This is everything we discussed," Nathan says. "Every weak spot, every gap in their defenses. Heartland may look strong, but trust me, every place has a breaking point." The figure flips through the pages, nodding slowly. And Amy. Does she suspect anything yet? Nathan's jaw tightens slightly. Not enough to matter? She still believes people are better than they really are. That's her greatest flaw. Takes a slow breath. But she'll learn. A slight wind moves through the grass, brushing against their legs like a warning. Nathan steps closer, lowering his voice even more. This is only the first step. Once the pressure starts, they'll have no choice but to fall in line. Heartland is built on trust and loyalty, but both can be broken. The figure closes the folder. When do we move forward? Nathan looks toward the faint line of sunrise beginning to form on the horizon. His eyes sharpen with something cold. Today? Everything starts today. By the time they understand what's happening, it'll be too late. The figure nods once, then returns to the car without another word. The engine starts softly, and the vehicle drives away. Disappearing into the early morning fog, Nathan stays where he is for a moment, watching the dust settle. There is no guilt in his eyes, no hesitation. Only the quiet certainty of a man who believes he deserves control and will do anything to take it. Finally, gets into his truck, turns the key, and drives toward Heartland with steady determination. Amy felt something shift this morning. She was right. Nathan's plan is already in motion, and the next move will hit closer to home than she can imagine. Amy tries to shake off the uneasy feeling as she walks back toward the yard. But the tension keeps tugging at her mind like a thread she can't ignore. The sky is brighter now, soft orange light touching the tops of the trees, yet it doesn't bring the comfort it usually does. Heartland is calm, maybe too calm, and that small detail in the barn won't leave her thoughts. She kneels beside Spartan, brushing his mane gently. He relaxes under her touch, but his earlier fear lingers in his eyes. Horses know things before people do. Amy learned that long ago. When an animal reacts, it's never random. Something or someone must have caused the disturbance. She straightens and studies the ground outside the barn. Most footprints belong to her family. She knows their steps by heart. But today, something new catches her eye. A faint tire track, fresh, cutting across the dirt path behind the storage shed. The kind of mark left by a vehicle that shouldn't have been there. Amy's chest tightens. It's subtle, almost invisible. But she has trained herself to notice the details most people miss. She crouches and touches the soil lightly. The track isn't old. It was made early this morning before anyone else was awake. Whoever was here didn't want to be seen. Amy stands and scans the open fields. Her gaze lands on the distant road that leads toward the hills. She doesn't know why, but something about that direction pulls her attention. As if the answer is out there, hidden just beyond her view. There's a quiet warning inside her, whispering that Heartland isn't as protected as she always believed. Her phone buzzes in her pocket, snapping her back to reality. It's a message from Jack asking if everything is all right. She types a quick reply, all good. Just checking on the horse's butt. She hesitates before sending it. She hates lying, even if it's only to avoid worry. But until she understands what's going on, she doesn't want to sound alarms. Amy walks around the barn once more, letting her hand trace the wooden beams. Somewhere inside her, pieces begin fitting into a shape she doesn't fully recognize yet, but she can feel the threat growing. Whoever stepped into her barn didn't do it by accident. It wasn't a lost traveler or a curious kid. This was someone with purpose. Someone who needed to see something inside Heartland. She takes a deep breath, trying to calm her racing thoughts. But calm is hard to find this morning. The ranch she trusts feels different, as if a shadow has slipped quietly between its walls. She looks once more toward the hills, her intuition pulling harder now. Something is moving closer to Heartland. Something planned. Something dangerous, and Amy knows she can't ignore it anymore, as the morning stretches across Heartland. Amy decides to take a longer walk around the property. Something inside her insists she look deeper, like a quiet voice guiding her steps. She follows it, moving past the barns, past the paddock, and toward the open fields where the dew still shines on the grass. Everything looks ordinary, yet she can't shake the feeling that something is hiding right in plain sight. She notices the first thing near, the south fence line. A section of wire is slightly bent outward, as if someone pushed against it during the night. Not enough to break it, not enough to be obvious, just enough to show that someone slipped through without permission. Amy crouches beside the fence, brushing her fingers lightly against the cold metal. It wasn't an animal. This was too careful, too controlled. Her stomach tightens. The second sign appears only minutes later. Near a group of trees, she spots a single piece of twine lying on the ground. A rough, thick strand she doesn't recognize from anything they use around the ranch. It's the kind of twine used to tie up heavy equipment or secure boxes in transport. Amy holds it between her fingertips, turning it slowly. She knows every material Heartland uses, every tool, every rope. This doesn't belong here. The final sig. L sign is what makes her breath catch. A few yards from the tree line, she sees a set of footprints in the damp soil. They're not large, but they're deep, meaning the person stood here for a while, not just passing by. The prints face toward the barn, directly toward where she felt the discomfort earlier. Whoever stood here was watching, studying, waiting. Amy feels a chill rush through her bones. Someone was monitoring Heartland when everyone was asleep. She straightens and looks around. The quiet morning suddenly feeling too still. The birds chirping above her sound distant, almost muted. Even the breeze seems to hesitate, sure of the danger sliding into the ranch's peaceful life. Amy takes a step back, trying to steady herself. She knows Heartland has faced trouble before lost animals. Financial worries, family arguments, but this feels different. This feels intentional, calculated, like someone is trying to test the ranch's defenses. She can't help but think of Nathan. Something about him has always felt slightly out of place. It's like a puzzle piece that doesn't belong no matter how you turn it. Could he be involved? The thought hits her fast and unwelcome. She wants to dismiss it. Heartland is built on trust. She hates assuming the worst. But trust means nothing when the clues are this clear. Something has shifted. Someone is working against them. Amy takes one last look at the footprints, memorizing their shape, their depth, their message. Then she turns toward the house, her steps firm, her heartbeat steady. Whatever is happening, she's done ignoring it. She's ready to find answers, even if they lead to someone she never expected. Amy returns to the house, her mind racing with everything she has seen: the bent fence, the strange twine, the deep footprints left by someone who had been watching the ranch while everyone slept. She pushes open the screen door gently, hoping to slip inside without drawing attention. But Lou is already in the kitchen, pouring coffee and sorting through a stack of files. She looks up, surprised at how early Amy is moving around. "You're up before the sun," Lou says, smiling lightly. Amy forces a small smile in return. Just checking on the horses. She doesn't say more. Not yet. Not until she knows what she's up against. Amy walks to the table to grab her jacket. But something catches her eye. One of Lou's files is open, showing a map of the valley. Amy pauses. The layout looks familiar, but there are marks on it she hasn't seen before: circles around Heartland's property edges, lines that trace access roads, and notes written in neat, sharp handwriting. "Where did you get this?" Amy asks. Lou glances down. "Oh, that? Nathan dropped it off yesterday. He said he was helping us look over land permits for the expansion project. Thought it might help." Amy's heart stops for a moment. Nathan, the map. The edges of Heartland marked, the roads studied. It's too perfect, too connected. Her breath catches as she leans in closer. The handwriting, she recognizes it. It matches the notes she found last week in the barn office. Ones she brushed off as unimportant. Slowly, carefully, she asks, "Did he say why he marked these areas specifically?" Lou shrugs. "Just something about land zoning, I think. Honestly, I didn't have time to dig into it." She sips her coffee, unaware of the storm forming in Amy's mind. Amy studies the circles again. Each one matches the weak points she saw this morning: the fence line, the back shed, the spot near the trees. Nathan didn't just walk the land. He mapped it. He planned around it. Every unusual sign she found outside lines up exactly with the places he marked here. Her pulse rises. She remembers his smooth voice from the day before, talking casually about improving Heartland, offering help, offering advice. Now she realizes it may have all been an excuse. To learn the ranch's vulnerabilities from the inside. Amy closes the file quietly. her fingers trembling just enough for her to notice. She doesn't want to worry, Lou. Not yet. Not until she understands the full scope of what Nathan has been doing. But one thing is painfully clear now. Nathan has been studying Heartland far more than anyone knew. And whatever he's planning, it's been in motion long before she sensed something wrong. She grabs her jacket and steps outside again, her mind sharper than ever. She needs to get to the truth fast before Nathan makes his next move. Heartland has survived storms, accidents, and heartbreaks. But this is something else entirely. Nathan isn't just visiting. He's preparing. Amy steps back outside, the cool air brushing against her skin. But it does nothing to steady the rush of thoughts spinning in her mind. She walks toward the barn again, not out of routine this time, but with a purpose, a burning need to confirm what her instincts are already screaming. Heartland rarely hides things from her, and when it does, it's usually because someone is trying very hard to bury the truth. She moves straight to the storage room at the back of the barn, the one nobody uses unless they absolutely have to. It's dusty, quiet, and filled with boxes stacked high from years of family memories. But today, Amy isn't looking for memories. She's looking for something out of place, and she finds it faster than she expected behind an old saddle stand. Half hidden beneath a tarp, she spots a metal toolbox. It isn't one she recognizes. Heartland tools are worn and familiar, their surfaces scratched with years of use. But this box is new, smooth, clean, and far too modern for the ranch. Someone brought it here recently. Amy pulls it out, her heart pounding. The metal is cold to her touch. She unlatches it slowly, feeling the weight of whatever she's about to uncover. When the lid lifts, her breath catches. Inside the box is a collection of items that should never be on. It's Heartland property, a roll of heavy industrial wire, a pair of bolt cutters, a stack of printed documents, and a small digital recorder. These aren't ranch tools. These are tools for breaking in, or breaking down. Amy reaches for the documents first. Each page is labeled with precise times, dates, and detailed notes about Heartland's routines, feeding schedules, night rounds, visitor hours, even the times when the ranch is usually empty. Her stomach twists. Every page is stamped with the same sharp handwriting. From the map in Lou's file, Nathan's handwriting. She flips through the papers faster now, every line confirming a fear she had hoped was just her imagination. This isn't simple curiosity. This isn't preparation for a project. This is surveillance. Planned, organized, intentional. When she picks up the small digital recorder, her hand shakes slightly, not from fear, but from anger building inside her chest. She clicks the playback button. A voice crackles through the tiny speaker. Nathan's voice. Calm. Controlled. Heartland is quiet at 4:30 a.m. Entry points are accessible. No noise from the house. Animals alert, but manageable. Amy shuts off the recorder instantly, her pulse thundering in her ears. This is the proof she didn't want to find. The evidence she hoped didn't exist. Nathan wasn't just interested in Heartland. He was studying it like a target. She closes the toolbox, pressing the lid down with trembling hands. Her whole world feels different now, like something trusted has tilted off its foundation. Heartland has always been home, a safe place rooted in honesty and family. But now, there's a crack in its walls. One carved by someone who smiled while planning its downfall. Amy stands in the quiet room, breathing hard, the weight of her discovery settling heavily onto her shoulders. The truth is no longer hiding. Nathan has crossed the line, and from this moment on, Amy isn't just worried, she's ready to fight. Amy steps out of the storage room with the toolbox still in her hands, its weight feeling heavier with every second. She walks into the yard, the afternoon sun now stretching long shadows across Heartland, shadows that feel sharper, colder, as if they're warning her of what's coming next. Everything she learned today piles on her like stones, but she refuses to let fear slow her down. Not when the truth is finally clear. She finds Jack near the paddock, working quietly with one of the horses. For a moment, she considers telling him everything: the maps, the tracks, the surveillance notes, Nathan's voice on the recorder. But something inside her stops her, not out of doubt, but out of instinct. If she sounds the alarm too early, Nathan might sense that she's onto him. And if he feels cornered, there's no telling what he'll do next. Instead, she hides the toolbox behind her leg and says, "Jack, have you seen Nathan today?" Jack wipes his hands on a cloth and shakes his head. "Not since yesterday." "Why? Something on your mind?" Amy forces a smile, but it doesn't touch her eyes. "Just curious." As Jack turns back to the horse, she steps away, her mind racing. She needs a plan fast. The evidence she found is too serious to ignore, and Nathan is too close to the family to let her guard slip. She decides to bring the box to the house, hide it, and go through every detail one more time. If Nathan is watching Heartland, then she needs to watch him right back. But she doesn't get the chance. As Amy approaches the porch, she freezes. A black pickup truck, Nathan's truck, is parked at the far end of the driveway. It wasn't there a moment ago. Her breath catches as she spots him walking across the yard with calm, steady steps, as if he owns the place. There's a strange confidence in the way he moves today, more controlled, more deliberate.